Imagine. Life for us changed in an instant and we had to relinquish all control, but not the hope. Now walks in Dr. Berenstein. The baton and control was now handed over to him, and it felt good. His calming presence gave us a sense of security, the security we needed because it all seemed to be falling apart. Now, Dr. B never sugarcoated things, and we knew we were in for a challenge. After his evaluation, Dr. B said that we had a good baby. As I understood, this meant that he was neurologically intact. And with all of the interventions and surgeries to come, he wanted to make sure that this was a viable life with a future. On top of everything else he had to consider, he still had to make sure that this was ethical. Kevin had a tracheostomy and was on a ventilator. He also had a gastrostomy tube for his feedings. I remember once my husband Tyrone broke down saying that we're just cutting up our baby. So we had to consider the ethical side also. I'm a registered nurse, and my nursing experience knew that this part with the trach and the feeding tube was recoverable. But 6 months later, and still in the ICU, there was so much to learn about this ABM. We initially moved to New Jersey to support my husband's career, never knowing that we were exactly where we needed to be. In 1996, when Kevin was born, this was all so new. There were no support groups, no Facebook, and no one else to talk to. When trying to Google it, Tyrone found another doctor, I think in California, and he said, "You're there with Alex? Don't move." And again, we felt good, and we felt secure. My nursing mind knew medically what we were about to face, but I never heard of an arteriovenous malformation and had no idea of what we were in for. I am so glad that there is support now. I love how this has evolved. I love that you can use our story and take from it whatever you need. If Dr. B did something 28 years ago that is helping you now, I am so grateful. Because my Kevin is so beautiful, and so are all of your children.
And once again, we'd like to say hats off to Marlene and Lena for all their due diligence in putting this incredible event together. Now, first of all, I could sit up here and talk about Dr. Berenstein, could talk to him as well, but I could talk about him, and we have hundreds of amazing stories of the interventions we went through. I remember Dr. B saying that Kevin was one of the most difficult cases he had ever seen, and he attributed most of his gray hairs to Kevin. But what was unique about Dr. B, and that's what I'd like to talk about. Who is it? Dr. B is the epitome of hard work, dedication, unselfishness, and love. He has spent a lifetime in the servitude. My glasses, I need them. He spent a lifetime in the servitude of others. I often wondered behind his incredible presence, his very gentle smile and loving care, the tolls of what this must have taken on him. Because you see, you can't do this amazing work for all of these people without it having some impact, some impressive impact on you. When we met Dr. B in 1996, the news of just how ill Kevin was devastating. As my wife shared, we had never heard of an arteriovenous malformation. And Dr. B told us to anticipate 10 years to life of procedures for him, which we superseded the 10 years quite easily. But what I would like to say is Dr. Berenstein is an amazing person. He's a humble man, and I'm quite sure he would say he's not deserving of these accolades. But we are grateful, not only for what you've done for Kevin, but each and every child, young adult, and family in this room. And we'd like to say, job well done, good sir.